So I have a few hours into the new Season 6 of Warzone, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, it really kind of sucks. The entire focus is on the Zombie Royale mode that is featured only on Rebirth Island, or if you get lucky in rotation, you can play it on Vondel. But one thing I will say is, the new weapons, well, they are pretty fun. So I've got you here 2 builds for the brand new weapons, the Ditter and the Cast-Off, which is the new LMG. And I'm running them here for you here on Afganistan while we talk about the season. So once this is all said and done, I will show you the builds. But these are going to be the 2 builds that I recommend that if you're wanting to run the new weapons, I would recommend trying them in. The Ditter, the new battle rifle, is absolutely broken beyond belief. Do not underestimate this thing at all. The STG got its newest nerf, but the Ditter is going to easily come in here and completely and utterly just take over what the STG would have been. If this thing doesn't see a nerf soon, it is going to be an absolute problem for the rest of the time that we are on Afganistan, or at least the rest of the Modern Warfare 3 series stuff. The gun has insanely fast bullet velocity, insanely high damage, extremely easy to control recoil, and obviously there's not a reason why I think that the thing should do all of those things. And then we get to the Cast-Off, which is the new LMG, and I don't know if you saw how fast I started sprinting right there, but let it be known that this thing has the fastest ADS movement, but of course it forces you into a tack stance to do so, but that's okay. Because the tack stance on this thing, well, I'm going to show you. It is completely unfair. Because just like the Ditter, the thing does way too much accuracy for free. So, and it comes with a 100-round mag. If you played Modern Warfare 2019, you may know the chainsaw attachment for one of the LMGs. That is essentially enough what this is. It is the chainsaw variation for this gun, except for now it's intended to be in tack stance because that's an entire skill set that you have in this game. But it's also got the tightest tack stance number I've ever seen, which is 0.5, which means only a 0.5 of degrees of change in accuracy from when you start firing to whenever it ends. So this thing is an absolute monster, and I'm going to come up here and absolutely ruin this team's day using it. And so the thing, obviously, you'll see is just tack stancing out of its mind. He flew past my range, so now I've just got a battle rifle in. Wait, there he is. And the thing is beyond understandable on why they decided that the Superi had to get hit so many times and then turn around and release the absolute fastest LMG to exist to known man. And on top of it, they're like, we're gonna nerf the STG so that way you can use this thing now. And so what it comes down to is the 2 new weapons are absolutely a blast to use, but they are gonna get frustrating to deal with in very little time. As you'll see, as long as I don't run the thing to empty, the reload on that Cast-Off LSW is stupid fast. Stupid fast. And the accuracy, pretty good too. Now, I'm gonna recommend definitely trying them. Definitely have fun for them for a few days before they potentially nerf them into the ground. But just know that when you run into somebody that has these things completely leveled, you're going to have not a great time. There's a guy in this building over here. Somewhere in this building over here. He might be 1 floor down. Yeah, it sounds like it. So this is going to be definitely one of those guns that if you're going to run it, it's your breacher. And unfortunately enough, both of them take AR, but that's okay because the reload speed on this gun is absolutely insane. You can keep 100 in reserve and you can run your AR completely empty and then just swap over to this thing and you got another 100 rounds. Another 100 rounds of doom. These guys are hunting me and they're about to end up with a rude surprise here. Where's your friend at? Like, come on, man. This thing is going to absolutely break a lot of close quarters engagements, especially as you start stacking players on top of it. Like, the reload alone is already problematic, but then you throw on top of it how accurate this thing is. And how fast? Nope. Nope, not good. Not good for anybody. But yeah, so once we get past all that, we're of course looking at the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass has some decent skins. Most of them are all based around the horror theme. Something we expect around the haunting event time. It's just pretty standard. We've got people like Michael Myers in there. And we've got a bunch of other references. There's one called Urzixan's Ghost, which just looks like Samara from The Ring. We've got a big bobblehead character, pretty average for a horror style movie. All that stuff. But most of all, realistically, I'm mostly just frustrated at the fact that we are on another cycle, another DLC cycle where the big map has received no love. We got one season of big map, and then everybody else has been funneled back into Resurgence continuously, over and over again. And at this point, I don't even understand why. Map hasn't received any changes. They just keep making events and content and stuff for it. And we've got, you know, multiple maps, but of course Rebirth Island is the only one that stays consistently. We get the other ones thrown into the roundabout. They're continuing to remove solos for the Resurgence players, and I know a lot of solo Resurgence players. They're absolutely livid about that. And then they remove duo playlists from Big Map. And there's a lot of us that really just love playing duos. It's just one of those ones that it feels like, you know, solos with a friend, which I know, you know, statistically that's what a duo is, but it's just one of those things that plays very similar to solos, but you're able to kind of do the teamwork thing, that whole army of two feel. And honestly, to me, it's one of the best feeling versions of the game. What do I know? I just play it every day, right? And then on top of that, with them continuing to remove different parts of the playlists and not give us the updates to the game that we would like to see, we're pretty much running into this issue where every bit of the content feels stale, because we end up just rinsing and repeating. I want to know how you all feel about it. Are you enjoying the season? Have you got to play much of it? Have you seen much of it? Does it feel good? We're obviously seeing a few more adjustments here and there to the weapons. We've had the 650-second buff to the MCW, and it will still not change the way that the MCW runs, because the problem with the MCW doesn't have anything to do with damage range, which is what they keep putting on it. It has more to do with its overall just base damages. And we can always hope that by the time that this is all said and done, we're gonna see a good, even, balanced, cultured, playable style of guns. But at this point, I'm imagining we're going into the Black Ops tire situation with pretty much the same guns. The different stat websites have all already said that it's looking like the STG is still best in class. So if you haven't put up your STG, it's probably not time to put up the STG, especially if you're playing like a Resurgence game mode, where slower guns are not going to be that good. The STG still wins pretty much most gunfights up to 40 meters pretty reliably. The only ones I would say you need to watch out for is the Ditter, which is the one I'm using right here, this battle rifle. I'm going to have to start calling it something other than the Ditter because it's such a weird name. And then MTZ 556 received a headshot buff, but it's harder. It's not hard to use, but it's harder to use than the STG is. So I just don't foresee a lot of people giving up the Ghost on STG when the MTZ is just a harder to use version. And again, I keep saying harder. It's not really harder. It's less forgiving because it does a high rate of fire, but still needs all of the bullets to actually make it work. Now is the time for you to take the floor. Let me know what you're enjoying about the season, and if you enjoy my builds, take them, run with them, have a good old time. I think this COV LSW is probably going to be the most fun of the ones to run, just because it is completely unexpected. But I think the Ditter is going to be the one that takes over takes over Urzikstan at least, and probably even Resurgence, all the Resurgence modes. The damage is really good, all ranges, really consistent TTK, and can be fired in single shot or full auto. Keep in mind though, the gun's damage profile does not change in full auto or single shot, so it's the same number of bullets to kill. So unless you just, I don't know how you could control the recoil, because it's extremely easy. But if you're having issues with the recoil or maybe landing your follow-up shots over range, you can swap it in a single shot, and maybe that'll help you maybe conserve some ammo, you know? But yeah, it's up to y'all. Thank y'all for watching the video. I look forward to hearing what it is. And if you're wanting to see some of the other things that are coming for you when Urzikstan retires and Verdansk comes out, I've got a video for you, and it's going to be, well, over there. Thanks.